Beyond the dance to the podcast land. Beyond the beat. Beyond the beats. Beyond the beat. Beyond the beats.
Welcome to Beyond the BeatZ, the stage where music moves us, dance free us, and every beat tells a story. I'm Carla, your host, curator of rhythm, and your guide through the sounds and steps that make us feel alive. This is more than a show, it's a celebration of music, movement, and the people who bring them to life. DJs, choreographers, dancers, producers, teachers, and everyone who finds themselves when the beats drops. Each week, I will spotlight fresh music, mixed culture, choreo tips, behind the scenes stories, and the artists who shape the dance floor. Whether you're freestyling in your living room, rehearsing for a stage, or crafting a playlist that moves the room, this space is for you. Grab your water, find your space, and let's move beyond the beats. Rodolfo, tu energía y pasión inspiran a todos los que te escuchan. Es un honor tenerte aquí.
That is
So
awesome.
my guest
That was
tonight,
great. That
I
was
wanted to
wonderful.
start
That
with
was so
something
good.
Spanish.
That was great. Very sweet.
Thank
Very
you.
sweet of you. Very sweet.
So tonight, I welcome a guest who lives by the mantra dance like nobody's watching. Rodolfo Ramirez is a Zumba instructor who transports his classes to that magical place where music and movement erase worries and spark joy. Born in Mexico City, Rodolfo inherited his love to dance from his father and trained at the Emma Pulido International Dance Academy. His journey has taken him from choreographing quinceañeras and fashion shows to teaching aerobics and eventually discovering Zumba in 2008, a turning point that reshaped his life. Today, Rodolfo balances a 40-year career in fashion and textile design with his passion for fitness, teaching 10 group classes a week across Zumba and Les Mills programs. He is especially devoted to Zumba Gold, bringing energy and love to seniors and memory care participants in his Connecticut community. In a world full of chaos, Rodolfo reminds us that Zumba is more than exercise. It's an escape, a celebration, and a way to feel alive. Please join me welcoming Rodolfo Ramirez to Beyond the BeatZ. Rodolfo, how are you tonight?
Great. Thank you so much for having me tonight. Such an honor to be here with you.
The honor is mine. You don't know how much I was happy when you told me that you're coming on the show. I mean, if you cannot see it with my face and my smile, I don't know how can you see it. So I'm so excited to learn more about you tonight.
You are always smiling and you're always beautiful. So, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. I
You're full of
appreciate that. So I've known you from 2016 when I first saw you on stage when you came to Wheeler YMCA with your wonderful hat. And I was there just mesmerized with your move. We never spoke, but I dreamt of becoming friends with you until I came to a point that you asked me to sub for one of your classes. And I was like, oh my God, Rodolfo is asking me to sub for his class. This is a big shoe to fill. And that was our journey through a great friendship. And I am like so happy to have it. What can you tell me about friendships that happen through Zumba, Rodolfo?
Oh my God. I don't think we have enough time to talk about that. I think if not the best, some of my best friends have been made through the Zumba, through the world of Zumba. It's been the place where I have found so many things, so many amazing people. And I know this is probably sounds like a cliche because many people say the same thing, but I think it's true. I think it's totally true. Whoever embarks in this amazing journey of going into the Zumba world is a life changer. It is amazing. So yes, some of my best friends today were made through the Zumba world.
I love
Absolutely.
that. What's your earliest memory of dancing? How did it make you feel?
My earliest memory of Zumba?
Of dancing?
Oh, oh, dancing? Oh, dancing in general. Yeah. Well, I have always loved to dance since I can remember, since I was very little. Probably my earliest memories when I was 3 years old, and I always loved to dance. And one of the memories that I have right here, so vivid in my mind, is when I was in grade school, every Mother's Day, when they were asking to the class for volunteers to participate in recitals for Mother's Day, it was always me. So every year I participated in every dance, every festival that it could be possibly done in school. And I have a partner that we were always the little couple in the front row in every recital, and we stick together for 5 years. In sixth grade, and this is gonna be sad, but that's how it goes. That's how it went. In sixth grade, she was the oldest of three children. That
Yeah,
family got into a car accident, and she passed away when we were in sixth grade. So
I'm
it was
sorry.
really hard for me because she was not just a good friend of my childhood, but she was literally my partner in crime. We danced together every time in school. So that goes to tell you how much dance means to me when I still remember this beautiful girl that we used to dance together all the time.
That's 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 a nice and heartfelt story, especially that
Yes.
you lost that friend. But
Yeah.
I know that talking about her today tonight, it means that you always have her in your heart and you dance for her
Always.
as well, which is
Yeah.
something really amazing. And I
Yes.
love that story. Thank you for sharing that, Rodolfo, with us tonight. So tell me, how did your father, Jarosho Roots, shape your relationship with music and movement?
Well, because uh, I share with you about my father. My father, people from the state of Veracruz, which is in Mexico, is the state that is along the Gulf of Mexico,
Yes.
which has been in big controversial lately, in politics. So um, that state is where my father was from, and people from Veracruz are very happy people. It's imagine the Mexican Cuban Riviera, right? People
Yeah.
like Cubans are exactly the same way in that state. My father was always a very happy person. He loved to dance, and he played the guitar. He was very bohemian. Um, so some of my earliest memories as for dancing also goes from my siblings and my father. I'm the youngest of six children, and I came into the family years later. So all my siblings are way old, not way older, but they older than me. So when they were young, when they were like in their teens, they had amazing parties at home, and I used to love watching them dance rock and roll and all those dances that were go-go music back in the 70s. And so that's how I learned to dance, watching my siblings with the friends and my father in family gatherings. So his
That's
influence, his happiness, his passion for music, for dancing, for all these kind of things were in my blood, I think, since day one.
yeah,
So that's why that is the biggest influence that I have inherited in my blood.
that's
Definitely.
beautiful. That's beautiful. If you had to describe your movement in 3 words, what would they be?
My movements.
Yes.
Oh my God. Um, well, probably if I can use maybe some of the cues that I always use in my classes, um, it would probably be sassiness, it would be silliness, and live in the moment,
I love
basically.
that. I
When I
love
tell
that.
people, I don't care if you have 2 left feet, I don't care if you crash on your neighbor next to you. As long as you're having fun and smiling, that's all I care. So, yes, probably that one, silliness, sassiness, and happiness.
That's awesome. I love it. I love it. I love it. So let's talk a little culture because your culture is really important, especially in Zumba. How do
Yes.
Mexican traditions show up in your choreography?
Oh, a lot, a lot. I grew up, as a teenager and a young adult. I grew up dancing cumbia, merengue, salsa, and quebradita in every party. I used to have, in my youth, I used to have a couple of really good friends that were my dance partners in every
Yes.
party. And I remember I used, quebradita is a rhythm that is it's Mexican, right?
Yes.
Cumbia is a rhythm that it varies depending on the country, but even though cumbia is originally from Colombia, but every Latin American country has its own flavor.
True.
Mexican cumbia is very, very specific. Um, I grew up in Mexico City, and Mexico City, for anybody that might want to get us a reference, growing in Mexico City is like growing in New York City. You have so many different cultures, different neighborhoods, and different boroughs, right? So there is one neighborhood in Mexico City where up to this day, they still have days where people go and dance cumbia, right? And this
Yeah.
is this is rough. Like, I'm gonna use this word, even though we don't use it anymore in Zumba, but they really dance the ghetto cumbia. This is the real
Yeah.
ghetto cumbia, right? We stopped using that word in Zumba many years ago for obvious reasons, but that was the real thing. So when I compare the cumbia from Colombia to the cumbia from Mexico, my roots in Mexico City, that's what I bring it into my classes, right?
Wow.
That's my staple, right? I
Yes.
do follow the Zumba guidelines for teaching Zumba fitness, but my staple is get cumbia from Mexico City. That's what I dance in cumbia.
I love
And the
that.
same thing happens with salsa and merengue.
So I love that you're saying that, and because we are going to talk a little bit about the flavor. So you being from Mexico, you have your own flavor, and at times I see your songs and I tell you, Rodolfo, I want that song. And when I take it to my class, I tell everybody that this is Rodolfo who choreographed this song and gave it to me so I can celebrate him in class. And you told me something that I will never forget. Make it yours. Make it
Yes.
yours. Make it yours. Because every single one of us is different and beautiful in their own way. And
Mm,
I start making stuff mine and I felt more happy, even though it is Rodolfo's, but it's having a little bit of, like you said, sass from me as well. So
yes.
it's getting two countries like mashed up together, which I really love. What can you
Yes.
tell people that they're trying to look at maybe a ZS or a ZJ and they just wanna copycat that person? What can you tell them?
Don't. Don't try to be somebody else, because people can tell when you try to be somebody else.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, even if they don't know the other person that you're trying to be, people can tell when it's not you. What I tell my students is, that the person that they see teaching in front of them at every class, that's the real me. I could be that silly person all the time if I could. But what I do is I actually switch gears. I behave when I'm working on my profession, and I am me, the real me, when I'm teaching. So that's, I unleash the person that is in me. That person, when you really can be yourself, people can tell and they feel that connection big time.
I agree.
Um, the last couple of weeks have been very interesting because it's been a while since I have gotten any feedback from students, but I'm gonna share a couple with you tonight that happened within the last couple of weeks. One of them was, I teach all formats. So I teach Zumba
Yes.
Fitness, Zumba Tuning, Zumba Gold, Zumba Chair for my people in the Memory Care Center. And I was subbing a class, Zumba Tuning, and I had two specific situations that happened that day, right? We know every time that we sub a class,
Yes.
we have to expect the unexpected, right? People might
True.
walk out within 5 minutes because they don't like you, right? You don't take it personal because people like Carla, they go to your class because they love you. That doesn't
Agreed.
mean that you and I are better or worse than the other. It's just that they love your class, they love my class. So if I go and sub your class and they walk away, I'm not gonna take it personal. It's like, no, they want to see Carla, and then that's okay. Anyway, so speaking of rhythms, at the end of the class, I have a few people talking with me, and one of them says in Spanish, she goes, "I am from Colombia, and I have taken Zumba in Colombia. This is the real Zumba. Thank you very much. You really brought that spirit into the class." And I
I
say,
love it.
"Thank you. I was just being me, And again, I bring my own flavor, and I just been me,
Yeah,
and
you
that's what
too.
it shows. I had a personal trainer from the gym that I knew who she was, and she decided to take my class. She picked 5 or 7 pound dumbbells for the class, and I was looking at her and it's like, all right, let's see how that goes. Um, in the middle of the class, she put those dumbbells down to the floor, and
Oh,
she just couldn't take those pounds anymore. By the end of the class, she say, "Gee, your class was so brutal. I couldn't. I thought I was gonna be able to manage 5 pounds." It's like, nope. This proves that Zumba Tone is a perfect format to make you work out, and you don't have to lift heavy to feel the workout. So those two comments make me realize that what we need to do as a community is make sure that we number one are ourselves, right? So we can share that and people can feel that energy. And number
agreed.
two, that we prepare. Just because you are subbing a class and you're like, well, I'm never gonna go back to that class. Who cares? No, these people deserve exactly the same class release that I do day by day. Just because I didn't know and didn't mean that I was not gonna do mine. So those two
Agreed.
comments made me realize I I think I'm in the right track. I'm giving people they need and they are appreciating that. So
I
again,
love that.
that again just comes back to what we were just talking about. Be
Yeah,
yourself,
be
right?
yourself.
Be
And I love
yourself.
that you're saying that about, someone that comes into the class to sub. I mean, you have to be prepared. And I believe I remember when I wanted to sub your class, I asked you, what do your class like? What do they like? How do you want me to take the class? And you told me from A to Z, like what do you want them to have and what kind of, if it's high or low or something like that. So you told me that this class will take like high intensity, so go with it. So I was so
Yeah,
happy because I'm a high intensity as well, and I'm like screaming all over. And I I love that we connect and we talk. And this is how the sub should be. They should talk to each other
exactly.
and ask,
Yes,
how do you like me to do the class? Because
yes,
I'm representing you at some point. Um, So
You know
Rodolfo,
what? That's a really good point. The
yes,
community doesn't just go between instructors and participants; it goes across all
yes,
different areas. Um, we talked a lot about community, especially in the Zin world, in the Zoom instructor world network. Um, but we really need to talk. It's like I don't want to be better
communication.
than you. I want to experience your students. So let's talk, right?
Yes,
And what you just say is just the perfect example, right? You
yes,
didn't want to, you, it's not about being better or worse. It's like, oh my God, I can't fit in those shoes. Or, oh my God, I'm going to be much better than this guy or that girl. No, it's about like, it's not about us. It's about our
no,
students. It's always going to be about our participants all the time.
100%.
You know what this,
Jealousy shouldn't be part of yeah, jealousy shouldn't be part of the community.
no, no,
Zumba or
no.
anything other than
Anything,
Zumba.
anything.
So I do have a lot of people that send me messages that, oh my God, we see your bright light. We see that you're always, managing to like put people up. I mean, in a world that it's fighting itself, what else we need? We need kindness. We need people who push us to our best. And we need people who communicate. And communication
Mhm.
is key. If I communicate
Yes.
with you like I've known you for I don't know how many years right now. If you hear something about me that I said about you behind your back, would you believe that? No, you're gonna come to me. You're gonna ask me.
Yes.
You're gonna
Right.
communicate with me, which is
Right.
the right thing to do. And a
Yeah.
lot of people don't do that, and they manage to have like this. They said, she said, and it's blow out of proportion, which is
Yeah.
really bad.
Yes.
But I love that we build a really strong community in Connecticut.
Oh yeah.
And I love what we have. I really do. Rodolfo, what can you tell about education, which I know that you are so big into education. You educate yourself the whole time.
All the time.
And I I don't want to put people down, but I don't want to not say it either because some people take B1 and they stop there and they think they are the best of the best and they want to like shine and go through, which is, it's not bad, but at the same time, it's not good. What can you
Mm.
tell new dancers or new instructors about the importance of education, especially that you've been a ZJ as well? And many people don't know that about you.
It's everything. It is everything. We study. We need to prepare ourselves and educate ourselves day after day.
Yes.
Um, from you know the class that I teach, that I taught this today is gonna be reviewed for next Friday as well. The class that I teach on Wednesdays is gonna be reviewed for next week. It's gonna
Yeah.
be improved. It's gonna be researched to see what else can I do to to give everything that people need. Education is everything. It's everything. We should not believe that just because we have a degree, a diploma, or any certification, that actually, you know what? That's the beginning of the journey. That is
Yes.
the very beginning of the journey. It's not the end. So when you get a certification, a diploma, any degree, anything, that's just the beginning. You're just about to start your journey, not just finished or reach the end of the line. So yes, education is everything. I remember seeing many people at the SynCon. I think you haven't been to any SynCon, right? Or I don't know, but
Not yet.
it amazes me that you've never been one of those. I went to the very first one in 2008 when there were under 1,000 people. It was the registration was like in any master class that you can hold at the YMCA. People were signing waivers on paper. It was so basic. The way you see SynCon today is like a big change. Anyway,
Yeah.
the point is that when when you go to those events, I think we're gonna have fun, but also I think the main goal is what am I gonna learn from here, right? And I'm just
Yes.
not talking about the training sessions or the jam sessions or speaking sessions. It's about the people that you're gonna meet, the networking that you're gonna do. What am I gonna learn from those people that maybe coming from the other side of the world, from another state in the country? Um, I need to absorb as much as I can from all these people, right? If all
I
you can
agree.
think of, and again, this is me talking. If all you can think of when you go to Syncom is go and get more Zumba wear, um, I think you are in the wrong path, because then
Yeah.
that means that what you want to do is you want to show off, right? Um, that you want to be the prettiest or the most handsome person in the room or the one with the latest trends on. I think it's beyond that, right? I understand it's part of the marketing, that's perfectly fine, but education is everything, everything, everything. Even from taking one training today, B1 is a good example, right? The
Yes.
B1 training that I took 17 years ago, I understand is nothing that what it is today on 2025. It's like day and night is a big difference. Hear that from students of mine that are now becoming Zumba instructors, and like that's not how I learned B1. It's like it's way different, right?
Yes. I
Some
agree.
things that I agree, things that I disagree with, that's aside the point, right? The point is that the program continues to evolve, and in the same way, we need to evolve. We need to continue education, and we need to come across different fields, right? Zumba
True.
fitness is not just about dance. It requires a lot of many of the different aspects to become an instructor. Pro skills, I have always said since I was a Zumba jammer, pro skills should be
Yeah.
mandatory and included
Thank
in
you.
B1. I
Yes.
have said this many times to the Zumba office when I was a Zumba jammer. When I was a Zumba jammer, Steve from Europe, he was our
Yes.
trainer for pro skills. He launched pro skills with us, with the Zumba jammers.
True. Yeah.
And at that point, I say, my God, where have you been? This should be a part of B1. It should not be optional. It should not be optional. It should be mandatory and part of B1, no matter what.
Agree.
Anyway, so, there are things that, but if it is not, if then it should come from me. I should have the initiative to educate myself, right?
Yes.
So that's all I have to say. I've heard you and other people saying, for instance, what is what it made you to be a good Zumba instructor, right? Do you have to be a good dancer? Do you have to be a good educator? Do you have to be an entertainer? You have to be everything. You have the
Yes.
obligation to be everything. And
Definitely.
then once you are yourself, your skills are gonna shine, and then you're gonna shine, and then it's like, oh, somebody, excuse me, somebody's gonna be, it's gonna show that it has a dance background. Somebody's gonna show that it has a educational background. Somebody's gonna show that it has an entertainer background, and somebody's
Yes.
gonna have the whole package, and that's
True.
beautiful. That is beautiful. So that's what we need to do. We just need to continue learning. If I lack certain skills, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna learn that. And one more thing before we move on. One more thing. If you are the kind of instructor that think that because you are from Colombia, you are from Mexico, or you are from Argentina, and you are the best quebradita, cumbia, or tango dancer, or you're from Brazil, you are the best samba dancer. Uh-uh. You still have a lot to say. You still have a lot to learn, right?
I
Just
agree.
because you are white, you're black, you're Latino, doesn't make you better or worse. I
It doesn't
hate
matter.
when I hate to say I hate. I don't want to use that
I
word.
know.
It's not.
It's a big word. I get it. Yeah.
I'm not gonna use it. I'm gonna say I dislike when people say, "Oh, she's white. She's not gonna be. She's not gonna have the flavor." Like, what?
Who
My
cares, right?
I'm gonna share something really funny, but I have cousins from Mexico, right?
Yeah.
One of them has zero concept of musicality and rhythm. She
Yeah.
cannot dance to save her life, and she's Mexican.
She's Mexican.
So there you go.
I know. If you have it in you, you have it in you. Like, a lot of people come to me, and I'm totally from a different country, and because I use your song, and they come to me and say, "Oh, are you Brazilian?" I'm like, "No, I'm a Lebanese," but I love that because like if you love something,
Very
it
good.
shows. It shows,
Yes. Yes.
and it's such an amazing thing that how many culture there is in one country, and how many culture we bring to make a Zumba class. And Zumba have like made me feel so happy because we can add into it a lot of cultures. And that's
Yes.
so important to show
Yes.
all the cultures and everything that we love and respect. So
Yes.
I love that.
That's all respect. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Speaking of
Yeah.
samba, you say that you love my routine. I don't know
Yes.
if I shared
I
this
still
with
use
you.
it.
Well, I don't know if I shared this with you, but it took me almost 3 years to feel confident enough to include samba in my Zumba classes.
Kidding.
Three
Wow.
years of practice, 3 years of research, 3 years of
Respect.
making sure that I was not just dancing samba in a good way or the correct way, but also making sure that I was delivering the samba to my students in an easy way to follow. So it was
Yes.
a lot of learning, absorbing, practicing, and then putting things apart and say, all right, let's put it back in. So in my class, people will be able to follow, right? So that happened to me with samba. It happened to me with um, belly dance, right? It happened to me with those two
I'll teach you.
rhythms that I wouldn't that I see was like, oh my god, I wish I can move like that. Well, I'm gonna make it mine, right? And that's what I do, and I try to make it mine. I have a lot of Indians in my classes, and they love when I bring Bhangra and Bollywood.
Yes.
And again, it took me a while to feel confident in the rhythms, and
But
I do it
also
when I
being
feel confident.
that's amazing to say because a lot of people go to class and they're like you have a big background in dancing, you have a big background being a ZJ, so you know your stuff and you know what you can bring to your class. And I feel so honored that you're talking like that about your education, how you need to be confident to bring a song to the class before bringing it, because nowadays I hear a lot that it is what it is, I'm doing what I need to do, they can follow or they're not, it's on them, it's not on me. How can you answer that?
Um, to probably maybe to be on their shoes, in the participant shoes, and say, well, what if you go and take a class and with somebody that thinks that way and see what that makes you feel by the end of the class. If you feel that you didn't break a sweat, that
True.
you were confused, that you didn't enjoy the class, that you didn't hear the feedback from people saying, oh, I don't like that rhythm, why do you keep bringing such and such, right? Example is when people like a rhythm so much, and you know that that's a rule. As we follow the Zumba formula,
Yes, we
not
do.
keep more than two songs of the same rhythm in the same playlist. Well, there could be somebody that's like, I love hip hop, so I'm just gonna keep half of my playlist different songs, or I'm gonna play a hip hop song and I'm gonna make salsa, and I'm like, all right, that's very creative, but you have to be also very careful about doing
Yeah.
those things. There is a difference between, I think, in my opinion, there is a difference between a fusion of two rhythms
True.
and bringing one song that has a very specific rhythm and changing to another. And I've seen that also happening a lot, right? But if you can do that, don't take me wrong. You can do that. That's an amazing skill. It's like,
Yes,
wow, if you can use a hip hop and turn it into a cumbia. That's amazing, right? Or vice
I
versa.
do. I
So
agree.
I think that's my advice would be, well, maybe just move over to the other side and see, what happens when you take a class with somebody that delivers that way. It is what it
Yeah.
is, right? Maybe
It's just a
you're
lot
gonna
of people don't point. They don't like to point on themselves to educate themselves better and to make a change in
yeah,
themselves. And that's part
yes,
of how you cannot like grow better in
exactly.
life,
Yeah, and this is
which
why I
is
think pro skills training in the Zumba world,
so important.
it's so important. It's so
Yeah.
important. I've taken
I
that
took
training
it
twice.
and it changed my whole life, honestly,
Yeah,
when I took pro
yeah.
skills. I do believe Anne Saldi was my pro skills mama, and she did a great job. I took it when it was COVID. So it's sad because I didn't know about it before COVID, honestly.
Wow.
Because like yeah, we were not educated about, like you said, we had B1, but we were not being educated about pro skills, about the
Yeah,
next steps. So
right.
this is so important, like you are saying. It's so important to say, okay, hey, B1, get your pro skills. It's you cannot teach without it. I
Exactly.
do agree with that 100%. It changed your whole life. It does.
Oh yeah,
It does change your whole life.
completely. Yeah, yeah. I have
Yeah.
taken pro skills twice myself.
See? That's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
Um, what do you do to make a nervous first timers feel welcome in your class?
First timers, newest. Well, there is a rule of thumb in any new group fitness class, not just Zumba. Um, when you welcome the class to everybody, right? Whether they
Yes.
are, you know, groupies or new people, you
Yeah.
welcome everybody, but you don't point out to that person and say, hey, I see that you are, you, that person in the back, you are new to the class.
They will do this and leave.
That's the worst thing you can do, right? You don't single out somebody that is new in the class. I mean,
Yeah.
that's not nice. That's not nice, because maybe that person just doesn't want to be even noticed in the room. And you as an instructor singling out that person, that's the worst thing you can do, right?
Yes.
What I do is, and it works again, it's just welcoming everybody at the beginning of the class. When I see new people in my classes, I put more emphasis on welcoming everybody. When I see everybody it's the same way, the regulars, I just say, hey, how are you doing? And let's get started, right? Let's bring
Yeah.
the
Let's
heat,
get this party started.
right? But when I see new people, I always welcome everybody, and I make sure that I review the basics.
Yeah.
Because, come on, we all have to admit, we all have those new, when you cue like this, they always do this. And when you do that, they do that as well, right? And then you're pointing this way
I
and they go
still
this way.
love it though.
So cute. It is very cute. But then when I
It
see
is.
they're completely lost, I'm like,
Yeah.
they think that the verbal cueing is part of the choreography.
Yeah.
Then I make a special break during the class. I say, hey, for those of you that haven't taken my class, this is not peace and love. This means you want to do two steps of this, and you're gonna go that way. And then I always have a joke myself that I always say, I am I am your flight attendant tonight. So I'm gonna
Yes.
direct the door to the side doors and to the back doors. So
I
I'm your
love
flight attendant.
that. I'm
If you
gonna
need a
use this.
drink,
I love it.
let me know at the end of the class. We can talk about drinks. But yeah, I'm your
No,
flight
no.
attendant. Tonight's flight. I'm gonna take you on a trip around the world. I'm your flight attendant.
That's true. That's true
And
though.
everybody,
You're not lying.
everybody gets up. And then the new people know that, oh, okay, so that's what it means, right? What
Yes.
your fucking hands, whatever you're doing with your hands, because that person might be thinking, this is so weird. Why is he using these hands like this when he's dancing, right? They don't know.
So
And I remember this from Al Sandy. And Saldi say this several times. It's okay to break down things. Don't
yes.
the biggest mistake is assuming that everybody knows what you're doing, right? So it
I
is
know.
okay. Even when I have a new song that I know the choreography is gonna be a little tricky, not difficult, but tricky. I always say, hey guys, I stop the music for 3 seconds and I say, look at the footwork first, right? Forget about everything else. Just look at the footwork. And then we and you'll get it. I promise you will get it. And it works, and it works when you really talk to the people and communicate.
Teach.
It is okay to stop the music once in a while. We have been taught that once you hit the play button, you do not stop, which is okay. That works great in master classes at big events.
Yes.
But when you're teaching, that's why the name of the class is you are there for to teach, not
Yes.
to show off. So it's okay to stop the music and say, hey guys, right? I have another rule in my Zumba toning class. Anybody teaches Zumba toning might be able to understand what I'm saying. I say I have one rule in my Zumba toning class. Usually we don't have rules in Zumba. You can do whatever you want. I only have one rule. I don't want to see lazy arms. Arms up.
Right?
Because we're gonna do some shoulder presses. I don't want to see this one here, right? We're gonna row.
Yeah.
We're gonna row, right? We're gonna do
Yeah.
shoulder press. We're gonna do triceps. I don't want lazy arms in my room. That's the only rule I
I
have.
love
And
that.
again, I say this is a joke, but people get it. Trust me, people get it.
Agree. Agree.
Right? And they don't get offended. They don't get offended. Or then I go like this. Where are your arms? Come on. It's like if your weights are too heavy, put them down, but your arms are up. So, little things like that really help a lot. And that's,
Yeah.
again, it's
Yeah.
something that you get with your class. And I
Listen,
do this with
sometimes I tell
athletes.
them this. I tell them
Yes.
this to breathe because I want them to breathe.
I know,
Now
right?
they laugh at me and they say that,
Yeah.
Carla. So we do. We love this stuff because it
Yeah.
connects us with each other, which is
Yeah.
really amazing. I
Yes.
love
Yeah.
that. I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Rodolfo, how do you protect your voice, body, and mental focus across long teaching weeks? Especially that I know that you teach a lot. So
Yeah.
how do you protect you?
That's a wonderful question. And I'm so glad that you asked this question.
Yeah.
Because everybody have been in that place where we forget about taking care of ourselves. It is so
Yes.
important to take care of ourselves. Our body, our voice, our work tools. We need to provide the good maintenance, the perfect maintenance to our bodies and our voices if you want to continue doing this. I'm telling you, I'm planning on doing this until I drop
Can
dead
do.
like a fly, right? Until I can, if I
Hopefully a
can,
long, long years
right?
from now.
Many people challenged me years ago saying, "Oh, this is just Zumba is just gonna be another one of those programs that is gonna fade away." And I say, even if it does, I'm gonna keep on doing Zumba for the rest of my life. Now I do other programs because you have to complement and you have to keep the
True.
balance. But anyway, so to respond to your question, it is so important that we take care of ourselves.
Yes.
So hasn't been easy. And just to put in perspective, when I first started teaching Zumba because I love to dance, I was teaching only Zumba classes, not 10 classes. I was teaching like 14 classes a week, only Zumba
Wow.
fitness. I have never been overweight, but I probably lost like 25 pounds in one shot. And friends, family were so worried about me because they were like, "What's going on with you?" What was going on with me is that I was in the honeymoon with Zumba, which everybody at any time you go through that process where you are so in love that all you want to do is Zumba. That I
Yes.
forgot to rest. I forgot to hydrate myself. I forgot to eat more, to balance my diet, to balance with other kind of workouts, body strength, uh, relaxation. I forgot about everything. My world was only Zumba. So it took me years to understand what was going on. Now I can tell you that I understand that it is okay to say no, right? And I have
Yes.
said no to you a couple of times when you have invited me to events that I'm like,
Yes.
technically I am available, but I'm not at the same time. Why? Because one thing that we have
Yes.
to learn is that just because your calendar is open at that time slot doesn't mean that you have to fill it in with every single invitation and activity that you get. You have to make
Agree.
sure that you allocate time for resting, for resting. You have to allocate time to spend time with your loved ones, right? Um, or to do nothing. Allocate time to do nothing. That's so important. You need to recharge. So
I love that.
that's the way that I been thinking lately. You have to really take care of yourself if you want to continue in this journey. And guess what? I feel stronger. I feel full of energy all the time, and I'm okay to say no at times. It's That's probably the hardest thing to do. Learn to say no. You can be
Especially to
every.
me.
That's what I'm telling you. You have to learn to say no at times.
You know how much I love you. Yeah, I love you and I respect you so much. And this is so important because a lot of people don't know how to say no. And I am one of these people that they don't know how to say no. So I got burned a lot and I got into a lot of
Yeah.
situations that I shouldn't be. And I'm trying to look at me first before everybody else, which is so important. I agree with you 100%. Our mental health is really important and it is a big thing in this community, and we
Yeah.
should learn to say no at times.
Listen. And I'm gonna say this out loud.
Yes.
I just turned 60 years old, and I'm gonna say
Rodolfo.
60 years young, because the concept that I had of a 60-year-old person when I was a boy or a young guy, it was completely different to what I see today, right? Like,
True.
this is not what I was told a 60-year-old person was supposed to be, right? Um, it's not about being, you know, how to say, selfish, right?
The
Or
age
being
doesn't matter. Yeah.
it's about feeling good, right? So when I look at, I don't I you know it's part of life, right? So we all have to
True.
grow, which it's a privilege if you can make it to a certain age. But it's the way you are feeling and the way you're taking care of your body. This is all we have. This is all we have. This, our body, is all we have. So if you don't
But
take
you
care
know
of
what?
your body,
Yeah, your
nothing
body
else
is your
matters.
temple.
Your
But you
body is
know
your
what?
temple.
Selfish is okay because my son told me, my older son Joe, we were talking a couple days ago, and he told me, "You didn't teach me to be selfish, but I want to learn to be selfish because selfish is okay. I want to take care of
Sure,
myself before taking
sure,
care of everybody else." Because we
sure.
teach them, because we come from different countries, we teach them that everybody matters before us,
Yes.
which is wrong. It's not okay.
Yeah.
Like in Mexico,
Yes.
it's the same like Lebanon.
Oh
You
yeah.
put everybody else before yourself. And to learn that, it's so hard, but it's so rewarding. I hear you. It is
Or
rewarding.
to unlearn what you have learned
Yes,
throughout your life. It's a big challenge, but it's never
so
too late.
hard. It's
And it,
never
do-
too
and it
late.
doesn't mean you're being selfish. You are taking care of yourself so you can take care of others. That's
I
that's
agree,
very important.
100%. Like
Yeah.
like in the plane, you need to take care of yourself before taking care of with everybody
Right?
else.
Yeah. If you don't want your children to survive, you have to put
Yes,
the oxygen mask on first, and then
true.
you take care of the children. Same.
I love that. So we were talking a lot about Zumba, but I want to concentrate a little bit about fashion
Yes.
because you are someone that works with fashion, textiles, 3D, AI technology, everything around you. So how did industrial design lead you into fashion and textile?
Okay. Long story short, because that's a long journey. When I was in college,
Yes.
one of the classes that I had was textile design as part of my degree in industrial design, and I love textiles all the time, all my life, and that led into an invitation to teach at a fashion design school. Why?
Wow.
Because we have the same principles, about color theory, about illustration, about many things. So that invitation led me into taking a part-time job when I was in college, and I was teaching fashion illustration, color theory, um, fashion history in a fashion design school. Fashion
Yeah.
design school because there were several. That hooked me up into the fashion world, and I'm like, this is what I want to do. And so I ended up narrowing my career from, industrial design is super broad. You can design from one
Yes.
pencil to one automobile. I started narrowing down into designing furniture because of textiles, and then I went down into the fashion industry, and that's what I ended up. And then you have no idea what's gonna happen in your life until it happens. And my first my first jobs led me into working for a company that designs computer-aided design software for fashion designers and people that make garments with computers and with software. That's the reason that I ended up in Connecticut, because this company, Gerber Technology, um, they had offices all over the world, and I was working in the Mexico City office. I worked there for 5 years, and then after 5 years, they asked me if I wanted to come to work to the headquarters here in Connecticut, and I say no. So I say, sure, I would love to. Right? That's where everything happens. That's where they design everything. My biggest dream as an industrial designer was to work as a product development designer. Little I
That's
knew that my dream was going to come true in technology, the software technology industry. I ended up designing how to make garments with software. And that
that's
was my
amazing.
job that I held. I ended up working as a product designer, as a product manager, and my last position that I held was as director of product development in this company, and that's the reason that I ended up in Connecticut.
That's
So,
amazing, Rodolfo.
and again,
Wow.
going back to your question about shall we continue, why we should not continue learning and educating ourselves, that still
Yes.
applies to my main field. What I'm doing right now, I'm under training right now. I'm still learning now about artificial intelligence, garment
Yes.
3D simulation, because now I'm working with another company that I'm representing for Latin America because of my bilingual skills. So now I represent a new brand that helps designers, fashion designers, to design garments in 3D with AI. And this is a new product that at this time in my life, I'm learning now. I'm spending hours in front of the computer learning, making garments on 3D all the time. So either I'm teaching at the gym or I'm making 3D garments on the screen. That's how my life goes. And in between, I love to cook. So I cook healthy meals all the time. Of
So,
course, my office is right here. My kitchen is
yes,
right here. My little
I
room
love
where I
it.
play is here. So I have everything in my place for what I do in my life.
So, for the people that they were questioning why Rodolfo did not continue as a ZJ, what can you tell them? Especially that you're telling right now your story, because I know your story behind why you left ZJ, why
Yeah,
you don't you didn't continue being a ZJ. Because I know that you have your heart. When you want to have your heart into something, you want to put 100% plus into it. So,
right.
can we tell people why you didn't continue and what a ZJ is, because
Right.
a lot of people want to become ZJs, but they don't know how much work they need to put into it. Can you educate
Absolutely.
us about this,
Yeah.
please, Rodolfo?
Yeah. So briefly, I was a part of the very first call of Zumba Jammers back in
Yes.
2000. I've been Zoom instructor for only 2 years when I auditioned, and I was a part of the first call selected. We were
Nice.
five Zumba Jammers from Connecticut, five, and I was the one that survived out of those five. Within we were the how do you say, the guinea pigs, the ones that they experiment with. The
Yes.
program, year number one, the CJ program was a complete mess. It was, well, if you have, I know you have. For people who have taken Zumba jam sessions, we now learn up to 4 or 5 choreographies. We were
Yes.
teaching 10 routines in one jam session. It was crazy. The choreo notes were all over the places. We were learning. Well, I stayed as a Zumba jammer for 5 years because I love the program and I grew with the program, right, year by year. It wasn't easy. So just for people that are considering becoming a Zumba jammer, from the beginning of the process of auditioning is very challenging. I know amazing Zumba jammers today that, to my surprise, they audition not once, not twice, but 3 times before they were accepted.
True.
Amazing Zumba jams, amazing, right? Laura Lani, which is one of my favorite ones in Rhode Island, is one of those. She's an amazing Zumba jammer. She told me that she was rejected the first 2 times that she applied, that she auditioned. So anyway, so that's on one hand, right? So you have to really, really consider, yes, you're right. Even a jammer, you got that right, Danielle. Yes. Even jammers have no idea what they are gonna be facing, right? It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. A
It
lot of
is.
work. It's you have to have many skills. It's not about being a great choreographer or a great dancer. It's about having good organizational skills, marketing skills.
Yes.
It is. It goes
Being
across all this.
unique. Being unique is so
Again,
important.
yeah, you learn that in the Zumba jam training, that you have to find your brand. I was so
Yes.
confused the first 2 years. I'm like, what does that mean? What does that mean that I have to find my own brand? And I had a wonderful mentor during the Zumba Jammer program that she helped me to shape my brand. And one of those features about my brand as a Zumba Jammer was that I was well known for my tango routines, tango and samba routines.
My God.
I had no idea. I just love to tango, right? And it takes two to
Yes.
tango. Well, eventually, everybody was coming to jams because of tango, right? Even though I love
Yeah.
cumbia and other things. But anyway, so yes, you have to be patient as well. Things
True.
don't happen overnight. Within my first year as a Zumba jammer, many jammers fell off of the program, either because they just couldn't keep up, and some of them were actually say, we won't renovate your contract because you're not meeting the basic requirements. There was a
I
big
think you
review on the
have
first
to
year.
have four, right?
No,
Four or
what that's
more classes.
you have a quote. You
Round.
have a quote that you have to meet. You have a quote you have to meet. In my
Yes.
days, it was to have at least one jam session per month, at least one.
No, it's more.
I
I
don't know.
think
I
now
don't know
it's
now. I have no idea today. But anyway,
yeah.
so that's just the requirements. It's just all the things that you have to figure it out, right?
Easy.
Then of
Yeah.
course is the one, again, you should be yourself. You can't compare to others. There were
Agree.
big public jammers in my time. They were always with Beto on the big stage. They were in videos, in promos from working with the Zoom office. I'm like, well, I am not that figure. I can't compete with a superstar, but I'm gonna be my own superstar.
Yeah.
Well, I decided one of the things that also you need to figure out is that as a jammer, are you willing to stay with your own niche, your own geographic region, or are you willing to travel? I
Respect.
traveled throughout New England. I went from all the way from Baltimore to Jersey, New York, all the way to Maine. I was doing Zumba jam sessions all over. I ended up doing one in Tennessee, right? I was invited
Wow.
best time ever
That's
in Nashville.
insane.
And of course, there is a teamwork as well. Gira was my
Yes.
partner in crime, and she helped me a lot with all the administration work, registration, waivers. So, that's also
We were
taking
talking
into
about you on the show when I had her. Yes.
yeah. So, it's about work. And one another thing is you need to learn to delegate. You can't do everything, so you have to delegate certain things. You can rely on the boss, and you can rely on another Zumba instructor. Whatever you need to do it. Now, why did I quit? Just to answer that question and wrap this up. Why did I
Yes.
quit? Because if I can give everything, I just don't give anymore.
Yeah.
And it was getting to the point that I was working 24/7. My full-time job was professional career was growing, and I was working 10 hours a day in my job, and then I was working 2 3 hours until 3 in the morning during the week to get ready for my jam sessions during the weekend. I was doing jam sessions on Saturdays and Sundays along with master classes. I was no taking care of my body at all. So I have to make the hard decision of saying, what do I need to do now? And I needed to take care of my professional career because it was
Yes.
really growing, and I needed to take care of that. So I decided to give up. And you have no idea how much it still hurts up to this day not to being able to be a jammer anymore. But I have found things to do to compensate that,
Yes.
that need of being a Zumba jammer for sure.
I agree. So Daniel was saying that know so many ZJs, I'm gonna show it again, who could use a lot of help with learning to market themselves in their jam sessions, have been to jams with less than a handful, including the ZJ, and know of some who had only one that attended. What do you answer? What's your answer to that, Rodolfo?
Yeah,
What they're
again,
doing wrong?
they need to look up for advice. It's like, what do I need to do to market myself? If I have zero knowledge about marketing,
Yes,
I need to approach to the people with the skills, the experience,
true,
right?
true.
We used to have sessions during the CJ meetings at ZinCon that they used to give us a lot of materials to use for marketing. But if you don't get them, you need to look for it, right? You need
Yes,
to really figure out, what do I need to do here, right, to promote these classes. Um, you have to do whatever you have to do, and again, it's about delegating and learning, right? If I
true.
know that Carla is amazing in marketing, I'm gonna call Carla and say, "Hey, my friend, I need your brain. I need to.
Yes,
I have a session coming up in 3 weeks. I need your help on promoting this. You have the know-how. Help me out, right?" And then you're gonna come
help
to me and gonna say, "Hey, this is what we can do. We can look up into such and such platform. We can send emails every Tuesday morning." That's
you.
one
True.
thing that I learned, from my marketing teams at my job. You never send emails on Monday, Fridays. You send marketing emails on Tuesdays,
See?
because Mondays people are catching up from the weekend. Fridays
Yeah,
people want to get out of work and forget about the week. Tuesdays people take the time to look at those emails and are like, "Oh, look at this. Oh, yeah, I have time to plan for my weekend. It's Tuesday," right? So,
I know.
little details like that help a lot.
I
Don't
agree.
over don't overpost on social media, right? I mean, there's so many little details that you can learn over the time, but you have to be
True,
open about
true.
learning from others.
So, I'm gonna tell you what Diane was saying. She was saying that 2060 it's gonna be her year to become a ZJ. You gotta
Yeah,
love
I would
Diane.
love to see you as a CJ. You will be. I will not miss your jam sessions ever.
I will be in heaven, becoming a ZJ in heaven, maybe at some point, Diane. I love Diane so much. Um, so tell me, Rodolfo, we were talking a lot about, positivity in the community, and how you need to check yourself out at times because you need that no at some point, and you need that mental health. I want to ask some personal questions because a lot of people they don't like to talk about their personal life. So, are you open to talk a little bit about personal stuff? So, for me. I respect everybody, and I saw that you put the equal sign as well in red on your Facebook page, which something I do as well. I have events for. What can you tell people about that and about your story with your own partner?
Well, that particular profile picture, it's a blend of two meanings.
Yes,
That's the logo of Human Rights Campaign, which
yes,
a big organization in the U.S. that fights for LGBTQ plus community. But
true.
the regional logo is blue and black, blue with a stripe on white. It's red because this year, for the first time, this administration in the U.S. decided that they were gonna cancel the celebration or honoring International AIDS celebration or honoring.
Yes,
So, as we know, the red ribbon it's the symbol for AIDS, and um, altogether for me has to do with honoring and respecting everybody.
agree.
So, Equal Rights Human Rights Campaign works tireless every day to make sure that every person, not just in this country but around the world, they deserve and they get what they need, for as a human being.
True.
Um, Assuming that HIV/AIDS is going away, it's not. We haven't found the cure, just like with cancer, right? So same
Yes,
thing with the pink ribbon, right? It's like somebody saying, "Oh, we're not gonna have October celebrations anymore, or observations of cancer because we don't want to." Right? That's it, right? We don't want to talk about it.
you can
Not
cancel that.
You can cancel out situations like this when we know it's still is a big issue, right? That
True.
goes along with canceling a lot of support, a lot of programs and bills that are providing the means and the money to
Yes.
organizations that are working towards the cure of cancer and HIV/AIDS. And that means a lot to me because I have had very dear people that either die or are still fighting day by day, either
For the cause.
cancer or AIDS, not AIDS, HIV, right? Today
HIV, yeah. I have a friend
way,
of mine too.
we have come a long way where people is not considered to be a death threat anymore because there is a lot you can do.
True.
And especially with the younger generations have no idea what we went through in the 80s and the 90s with the pandemic. So to me, it's
Yeah.
very important that we go back to education, right?
Educate. Yes.
We need to educate.
Yes.
We need to talk. We need to have conversations, especially with the
True.
younger ones. I say, hey, don't take for granted, right, that what you have today has always been there. There was no cure back in the 80s and the 90s, and people were dying by the thousands, right? And
Yes.
nobody cared. So that's why it means a lot to me, right? Because very close friend, very close people to me either die or still have the virus. So I don't think
Yeah.
it's right, right?
Me
So,
neither.
and it
I don't
goes
think it's right too. That's why I want to
has
talk about it.
it has nothing to do with your lifestyle, your
No, no,
sexual
no. It
preference,
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
right? Because there have been anybody from any background. So
They
that's
can
why it's so
catch
important.
anything. Yeah,
Yes, I'm
100%.
very passionate about human rights in
You
all
are.
different. I am.
You
I
are.
am.
And I love that about you because you stand up for what you believe in and you speak
Yes.
loudly about everything and anything that happen in our country nowadays, which is a lot. I
Yeah.
know we're not gonna go through politics. There's a lot going on, but
Yep.
you are so passionate. And like I said, you have a big voice and you stand up like strong and you say what you need to say. And that's why I wanted people to learn because a lot of people don't know what the red equality means, and I want them
Hmm.
to know to get
Yeah.
educated about what it means, because
Yeah.
if you never had a friend that went through HIV, or you didn't do the walk, or you didn't even like help with that, you will never know what does it mean. So again,
Exactly.
like you said, education is key. Education is so important for us to move forward. If we don't educate ourselves, we never move forward.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
thank you for
And
that.
we also have a lot to learn from people that don't know. It's like, why are you avoiding this conversation today? Right?
Yes. Yes.
What's going on with you? So we need to talk a lot about these things.
Yeah, I don't, because I have a lot of people around me, I don't
Yeah.
put
Daniel. Yeah.
anything on social media, because sometimes you cannot, like, people fight for no reason. And for me, if people are not educated, like, I can sit and talk to you, and I can take and give, and that's really important. But if I put something on social media, there's a lot of people that they don't understand what I'm going to put, and I don't need that negativity. So, and especially that I'm a teacher as well, I don't post a lot
Right.
of stuff on social media, but I do
You
have,
know,
I do
yeah.
have a lot of informations.
I
So
have some
Daniel was saying
people.
that,
Yeah. Go ahead.
yes. So Daniel was saying, as people who witness things that happened in the past, the younger generations will not learn about it from those who lived through it. Applies to a lot of topics. I agree
Right.
with Daniel, like 100% into that.
And this is what we're saying. It's about conversations, about opening communication, talking to people. Right. You're right,
Yes.
Daniel. People are never gonna learn. It's like when our parents tell us, "Oh, don't do this because it's bad for you." Of course, you're gonna do it.
Why?
Just because your parent didn't tell you not to do it, you're not gonna do it.
Yeah,
You learn. It's like, oh, my mom was right, my dad was right, right?
true.
But you still gonna do it. So this is the same situation. We need to have these open conversations with younger people, and
Agree.
they don't need to understand. They need to be open to talk,
To
especially
learn.
25, where people are living through their devices most of the time.
Yes.
We need
Yes.
to really have these conversations with the younger generation, big time, big time.
I agree.
Yeah.
Rodolfo, you went through so much. I know that we crossed the 1 hour, but I really want to talk about family, because um you went through a lot at some point with the loss of family members.
Yep.
Um, what do you want to share about these losses, and how did you navigate all of it? Especially that we know that it's, for you, family was really important, and you were close so much, especially to mom as well.
Yeah. It all started with the loss of my one of my older brothers. Ever since my mom started to deteriorate, and then the big end came in the pandemic. So my mom was already very sick, but she was mostly depressed. You are a mom, and you probably know, or you can tell that if you
So
lose a child, I cannot even imagine the pain that a mother could feel. So my mother
yeah,
started to feel that pain with the loss of my brother, and then eventually that, you know, deteriorated her health. And when COVID came in, she was the perfect recipient for COVID.
into this, right?
So she got
Yeah.
infected and she died, and it was. I'm not the only one. I know that thousands of people went through what I went through with the inability to be physically close to your loved one, because this is before the vaccines even, so we were not allowed to be next to your loved one. So
Yeah.
when she passed away, it was surreal, right? All of a sudden I found myself going through what I was only watching earlier in the year happening on TV. All the scenes happening in New York City with thousands of people being drawn out of hospitals in bags and everything. That was my right, and I went through that as well. It was shocking. 11
Yeah.
months later, I lost one of my sisters, not of
Yeah.
but for the reason. 11 months difference. So she was like my second mom. She pretty much raised me, because very. So you don't know what happens to you when you lose somebody until eventually
You,
clicks. And guess what? Let's just get back to education.
yeah,
I wanted to understand the mourning process. I wanted to understand what grief meant. And instead of just sorry for myself, I started to attend retreats, read books, reach out to help, and I learned a lot about the process of grieving and mourning. I'm not gonna say that it was easy. It was very rough. I'm not gonna say that I didn't touch down because there were times that I couldn't get up, right? I
yeah,
couldn't move. Uh, Moving one foot in front of the other was very challenging. But guess what? Fast forward today, and as a matter of fact, today I was thinking about it. This week I have been subbing, teaching, I've been doing so many things. I'm like, I have so much energy that I cannot believe. When I think back, I think that I just going to the bathroom and looking at my bed. I'm like, I'm just gonna lay down and I will sleep for the rest of the day. And that was
yeah.
today. I cannot wait for the next morning. The moment that I open my eyes, I feel so blessed. Like, oh my God, I have to do this today. I gotta go and teach a class. I have to do this, this, and that. This is the thing. I don't feel sorry about the death of my loved ones. I feel amazingly fortunate that they gave me the
Howard.
opportunity to learn so many things in
Yes,
life. And this
I
is
know.
the other thing. I don't feel lost. I feel again. My mom and my sister are with me now 24/7, all the time. And I don't have to pay for a ticket to go and visit my mom anymore because she's with me all the time.
Yeah,
Again, this didn't happen overnight. It happened through a lot of process. So once
of
again,
course.
we the principle of this conversation. Whether you are working in your Zumba fit in your Zumba career, fitness career, your own professional growth, education, knowledge is everything. Learn, study, listen to podcasts, read books, take the time to learn, talk to other people. It's okay. It's okay. I didn't believe in therapy before. Now I do. You know, like, oh,
Yeah,
why do I need to go to a therapist, right? Now I do. I'm like, what is that person? Is that gonna give me a solution to the problem? No, because the solution is in you, right? That
I
person
agree.
has personal knowledge to tell you and got you through. So education, education,
Education.
education.
I hear you. I hear you loud and clear because my grandma lost her son when he was 14 years old. So I lost my uncle for at war when he was 14. And like she wouldn't even every single time she sees someone that looks like him, she would go feed him or go say hi to him or go near him. Like she would see everybody, she would see him in everyone's face. So
Yes,
I know the feeling because I saw it with my grandma. It was really really hard to see. So I'm so sorry for the losses that you went through, but we're so lucky to have you today with us to educate us about your journey because someone would be listening today and maybe is going to a similar journey like yours and saying, okay, I can do this because
yes,
you did. So thank you so
yes.
much, Rodolfo, really for sharing all of this. This is
And
so important. I
to wrap
appreciate
this
it.
up, I have a student that,
Yes,
again, never assume things. When you see
never.
people that are moody or that they look unhappy, don't take it personal. I have
Yeah.
this lady that always it's like hidden in the corner of the room in the back, and then all of this is in my body pump class, and then she comes all of a sudden and sits out my workstation, and I'm like, oh my God, that's so nice of you, thank you so much. So that started a conversation. Well,
Yeah.
he her son is dying of cancer, right?
Oh, yeah.
And he and his partner are going through all this, and he was not supposed to be alive beyond November, within 1 year. Well, he made it to Thanksgiving last week, and this woman said to me, "You made my day so much because you are so much fun. You always bring so much energy." And again, I just being me, right? I'm not pretending to
True.
be anybody else. But turns out that somebody thinks that I'm bringing everything to them,
Yeah.
and that person says, "This is the reason I can get through the next week because
Okay.
you bring me so much energy and so much fun that I can deal with this."
I love
So
that.
I had to run to the bathroom that day and put myself together again because I was devastated about the news about her son. But at the same time, it's very comforting to know that we, we all, everybody in probably right now that we teach classes, that we go day by day, don't take it as a routine. You don't know that
Make a
that day, that
difference.
morning, that evening, you're gonna make a difference in somebody's
I
life. Again, it
agree.
sounds like a cliche, but it is real. It is real. We help people to get through their difficulties.
I
So
agree. And
be yourself all the time. Be yourself. It's
I
okay.
agree.
It's okay.
I
To do
agree.
that.
I agree with you 100% because I got a person to come dance with me. She's an older lady, on one of the songs. And after that, she hugged me and she said, "You don't know how much I needed that today because she lost her husband 2 years ago and she used to dance with the same song with him." So
Yeah.
we make a change in everybody's life. They
Yeah.
do make a change in ours too. So
Yes.
it's like taking and giving, and this is what makes difference in everybody's life. That's
Totally.
such an amazing story to share. Thank you so much, Rodolfo. So what do you want listeners to take with them after tonight?
Oh my God. Don't give up. Whatever is going on in your life, take a break. Take a break. If you feel like today you just can't take it anymore, just take a break. Right? Tomorrow will be another day. Um, think about say it. Think about your body as your own temple. You don't need to
Yeah,
go to a church to feel better. If you go, that's okay. That's your belief. But your temple is your own body. Show respect to your body. Take a break and keep on going. And then you fall down, it's it's not a problem. What you need to
yeah,
do is figure out how you can get up and keep on going. And that's it.
awesome.
And learn to say no. That's good. It's
Yes,
okay.
I'm learning. I'm learning. Rodolfo, I really don't want to finish this episode. It took like it's almost 1 hour and a half, and
Right?
usually it's 1 hour. But I really love you so much. So I'm gonna end with this. Rodolfo, traes ritmo y alegría que contagian.
Uh-huh.
Gracias por compartir tu talento con nosotros.
That's amazing.
And just like
That's
that, did I
thank
say
you.
it good?
That's wonderful. Yeah, it means a lot to me. Thank you.
Thank you. Just like that, we have hit the final beat of this week's episode on Beyond the BeatZ. Before I wrap up, Rodolfo, can you let our audience know where they can connect with you, whether your classes, socials, upcoming events? I want everybody to follow your journey and keep the rhythm
Yeah.
alive.
Sure. I mean, you can find me with my full name, Rodolfo Tirado, on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. You and I are connected on LinkedIn because of
Yes.
careers. Um, I don't do TikTok, actually. I don't do X either. So it's Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and
Do
that's
you do
about it.
6'7", Rodolfo?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And if you ever want to join me in my class, you want to team teach with me, I always welcome people, to teach with me. Always,
definitely.
always, always. I love when I
Always.
see
We love you.
instructors in my class, and I always bring it into the stage, and we share and we have fun. Yeah.
We love you so much, and I cannot wait to see you and hug you soon, hopefully. And I just, while I'm here, I want to say to everybody if they want to contribute for tomorrow's, we have Operation Elf. A friend of ours in the community, Jonathan, is doing Operation Elf for the soldiers. They are collecting gifts, gift cards. They're collecting hats, everything unwrapped and new, if they can do that. It's going to be in Waterbury and they can reach out to me if you want to go or you want to leave a gift to give for that event. So tomorrow in Waterbury, thank you so much, Scott. If you want to come and share your um, your light. So this is it, you guys. From music to movement, from sneakers to stories. You showed up, you shared, and you remind us of what this community is all about: heart, creativity, and love without limits. If you vibed with today's episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment about your favorite moment. Until next time, keep shining your light, keep lifting each other, and keep dancing like nobody's watching while inspiring everybody who is. Thank you so much from me and
Thank
Rodolfo. Have a good night, everybody.
you, my friend. Love you. Good night.
You can stay, we can talk.
Okay.